Eh bien, salut tout le monde, c'est Blood, on se retrouve pour The Technomancer et on s'était arrêté là devant cette magnifique porte qu'on va ouvrir tout de suite, voilà, qui est bien ouverte là. Alors du coup, il va falloir aller là-bas. Je la maîtrise, les loulous. La maîtrise. C'est pas là où il y a une... Ah non, non, c'est pas là où il y a une échelle. J'étais persuadé qu'il y avait une échelle ici, mais pas du tout. Bonjour.
I'm sorry to... You Angela Seeker, Scott's wife?
Ex-wife. What did the drunk do this time?
Nothing bad. He's a friend.
A friend? Right.
Just looking for some information on one of his friends, Mark, and your son.
Get out! Get out! What right do you have coming around digging up the past?
I'm not here to make you relive your pain, and I'm sorry if that's what it looks like, but I'm here for Mark's daughter. She sent me to try to figure out what happened to her father.
The poor girl. Hard enough to lose things when you're old enough to understand. She was just a girl when Mark disappeared. If resurrecting my pain can help ease hers. I loved our son. Scott did too. But he was never around. He was too lost in his research, lost in the dream of making the discovery of the century, of becoming a hero in abundance. Then, one day, our son started to show signs of mutation. When Scott noticed them, he lost it. He tried to hide him as he desperately dove back into his research to find a cure. With Scott gone all the time, I turned to Mark for a shoulder to cry on. Told him what was going on. So Mark tried to reason with Scott. But you could never reason with him. He always thought he knew more. Then our son was arrested and Scott and Mark just took off on some crazy expedition. Left me alone to deal with it all. So I filed for divorce. I was alone anyway. Then they came back with nothing to show for all the damn time they were gone. But that didn't stop Scott. No, he just dove deeper into his work. And when Mark disappeared, I was sure it was because of another one of Scott's crazy missions. So tell Amelia, it was Scott's incessant need to be right, to be a hero, that undoubtedly cost her father his life, and that's it. That's all I know.
Hell, I can feel for what the old man's been through. I've known some folks myself who went through the same thing. Terrible thing. Breaks couples up, you know. Stress of never being able to have kids again.
Why never again?
It's sad, but it's the only way to protect our own kind. At least now I understand why the professor's so, you know...
Hello, Mancer.
Hello? I talked to Scott's ex-wife.
So, what did she say?
It's an awful story. Her son. Anyway, their son was struck by mutation. They took him away from them, of course, but it made Scott go crazy, and he was convinced that he could find a remedy. He asked for your father's help, so they left together, and were gone for a long time. Their exploration apparently didn't lead to anything concrete for the boy, and Scott descended into madness. And then one day, Mark left. His ex thinks that it was to bring back something useful for his research, and he never came back.
Shit. So my father's disappearance is related to that poor kid? It's really awful what they must have gone through. That explains a lot about why he's so crazy, and also why he behaves as if we were his kids. Thank you, Zach. That doesn't answer all of my questions, far from it, but I have a better grasp of what happened. My father disappeared by helping his best friend, who was going through a rough patch and wanted to heal his child. It's a sad but beautiful story, isn't it? I'm gonna think about all this. Thank you again.
You're not like other girls, are you?
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Or are you being a wise ass?
You just don't talk like the rest.
I drive a Rover. I don't sit around sipping brightly colored drinks with brainiacs talking about the philosophies of life. You don't like the way I talk? Take a number and shove it up your educated ass. Take any one of them uppity shits and put them in a Rover, driving through sandstorms and seeing crazy shit every fucking day, and tell me they won't start talking a little more colorfully.
Easy, killer. I'm not judging you. Doesn't bother me. I was just saying.
You were a fucking rogue before, so unless the army made you soft and... Sorry. Just a little defensive. Hear that shit a lot.
Voilà. Alors, la suite. Réfléchissons, c'est où? On a une quête ici. Ah, c'est là. Ok. Bon bah je vais aller vers la quête de toute façon. Oh merde. Je suis trop con, je regardais en fait les symboles de la map plus loin. Et j'ai pas fait gaffe où j'allais. Alors du coup, est-ce que c'est bien par là? Je suis vachement étonné que j'ai une quête là-bas. Il y aura à la prendre sur le retour. Ça m'étonnerait qu'elle ait été là au début parce qu'on l'aurait vu, je pense.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I've returned, Great Master, with the relic from the Aurora evacuation. It's a tablet filled with text, and I don't have a clue how to decipher it.
A glorious day. You have no idea what this means, Zachariah. The language is indeed difficult, and most no longer have the knowledge or ability to understand it. Most, but not me. I will begin deciphering immediately. We will know soon enough the vast wealth of secrets it holds. Sean was certainly right in his appraisal of you. Your worth has already proven to be infinitely valuable. A word of warning, Zachariah. Words spreading about your missions. Things you've been able to accomplish, filled with troubling details that imply you have a mole in your midst. If there is an ASC spy amongst your ranks, he will not only know our secret, but eventually share it back to his master. We will, in no uncertain terms, be lost. All will be lost. So take care. And take care of it. Sooner rather than later.
Thank you for the warning. I assure you, I will get to the root of this. I wanted to talk to you about something.
What about?
We're looking for a scientist who disappeared. Name's Charles Seeker. All I found is some of his research. Seems he was studying Technomancers before getting arrested and sent to a camp.
Charles Seeker. Yes, the geneticist. Geneticists pose a risk. Scientific discoveries are always threatening to expose our secrets. Your friend Scott even worked on the same research years ago. Never found out what Scott did or didn't discover, though. He ended up drinking himself into irrelevance. So I stopped worrying. Whatever research you found, make sure no one sees it. Could be our downfall.
Des gens qui nous suivent, quoi. Allez, par là. Hop. Jamais passé par là, moi. Ça me dit rien.
Can't go through here.
Ah bah évidemment. Fallait qu'ils mettent une putain d'échelle à baisser. Oh mon dieu, va falloir que je fasse tout le tour. Oh. Ah mais c'est pas sérieux tout ça. Sérieusement quoi. Je vais la baisser par contre. Ça c'est con. Hein. Franchement. L'idée des développeurs de faire des raccourcis comme ça, c'est un peu con parce que ça vous emmerde plus qu'autre chose au final. Donc on va d'abord déverrouiller le raccourci hein, parce que je vais oublier sinon... Connaissant hein. Voilà. Ici on peut pas looter. Je regarde si on peut looter quelque part. Ouais là. Hop. Ah bah alors là je sais pas. Putain, pour accéder à celui-là, ok, faut monter, mais monter où, comment, à quel endroit, je ne sais pas. Ça on peut pas monter par là. Ah, là aucune idée, hein, franchement. Ah peut-être, attendez, je vais essayer un truc. On sait jamais, genre d'aller là-bas et d'essayer de monter. Alors si je vais là, je peux monter de toute façon. Ah mais oui. Ah mais oui. Ah mais c'est toi. Oh.
Officer? Yoo-hoo!
Ah oui.
Officer Zachariah Mancer, a sight for sore eyes. Our hero, brave and strong.
I like where this is going.
Well, you know, you were just so nice, and if you wanted, if you had time, I know you're probably busy, but if you did...
What?
I'm just glad you came to see me. I was just thinking about you. Feel like you're maybe the only guy who could help me.
Why? What's going on?
I just don't have a lot of friends in Ophir. Never really had time for them, but one of the few I have, Abby Goodsman, owns a stall. She's a great girl. Lately, though, she's been scared for her life. Soldiers have been trying to extort her for serum. They tore down her stall and threatened all sorts of horrible things when she wouldn't pay. As an officer, I was hoping you could find out who these wicked men are and figure out why they're messing with a good girl like Abby. Please, I'm really terrified for her.
If you're positive they're soldiers, that's weird. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I knew you were a good guy.
Can I ask how you ended up becoming an artist?
That's a long story, officer. Not the happy kind. Don't want to depress you.
I got all night.
All right. Okay. You asked for it. I got left alone when I was young. Parents died, so I was forced out on the streets. One of 1,000 orphans like me. Did a lot of stuff I wasn't proud of, but had to get by, you know? Then I got lucky, and the center took me in. Gave me food and clothes and an education and hope. And a purpose once they taught me music. And confidence once they told me I was talented. So, when I was old enough to leave the orphanage, I got lucky and met some other musicians who gave me a lot of help. Ended up performing in some bars around the slums. Not glamorous, but I got lucky and it got me here. So, maybe the story's not so sad after all.
You're not really like everyone else, are you?
What do you mean?
You kept a level head in the attack. The politicians lost their shit, but you kept cool.
Maybe a hard life like mine prepares you for anything. Or maybe I just had more faith in your abilities than they did.
I gotta go.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you again soon. Be careful. Would hate to lose a guy like you around here.
T'inquiète, je serai careful. Bon, on va faire sa quête en prio.
You Abby Goodsman?
Yes, By the shadow, please don't tell me that man sent you.
No, your friend Nisha, the artist, sent me. Said she thought you were in trouble, and it looks like she was right.
Yes. Thank you. They're ruining my life. I'm being threatened by soldiers who tore down my shop. Why? Because they wanted serum I don't even have. And if I didn't give it to them, they said they'd denounce me. For what? I never did anything bad.
Yeah, I believe you. You sure they were real soldiers, though? Could have been mobsters in disguise.
All I know is their uniforms sure looked real, and their chief told me to call him Sam Ward. He's sick. You hear me? Sick. A brutal... Please help me. The threats keep coming, and I'm telling you, they're gonna kill me. I know it.
It's all right. Everything will be okay. I'm gonna look for this Sam Ward. Talk to him. Talk to my captain about him, too. I'll get it worked out. Don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you, officer. Thank you so much.
Alors, les menaces. Ah bah, je vais passer par là, ce sera plus simple. Essayer de trouver qui nous suit aussi en même temps.
I gotta find that spy. Maybe I should ask around.
Alors, toi.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, can I get some intel on a couple citizens?
As long as it's mission-related, Lieutenant.
What do you know about a soldier named Sam Ward?
Not a lot. The little I know is nothing good. Mostly about the company he keeps, like Vori. Not enough to arrest him, but enough to be glad he's not one of my problems. Word to the wise, which I hope you are. Stay away from him unless you're looking for the kind of trouble you can't dig your way out of.
Of course, Captain. The name is Abby Goodsman.
Give me a sec. She's a trader with a small shop in the exchange quarter. No arrests, no complaints, no bookmark by the ASC. You said this was mission-related, Lieutenant?
Of course, Captain. Just following up on some leads. Have a moment, Captain?
Depends what you need it for.
Just want to get to know you better, Captain.
I don't usually mix business and pleasure, Lieutenant, but ask away and we'll see which questions I feel like answering.
can I ask about your relationship with ASC?
Tread carefully, Lieutenant. One might start to wonder the purpose of your questions. But here's my answer. We're all forced to work with them, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Too much power too quickly leads to arrogance. They're brash and too quick to act. And quite frankly, as they've risen in power, it's no coincidence that the dissenters, deviants, and rebels have risen in numbers. They're a great source of intel, however they get it. I sleep better at night not knowing the means. But I've always thought the army was strength enough, that the ASC was overkill. I trust you won't repeat anything I've said, Lieutenant. I'd hate for both of us to find ourselves enemies of the state over a little frank conversation.
My lips are sealed, Captain, and I appreciate your candor and trust, more than you know. Captain, all Aurora tunnels were destroyed. If they're gonna get back into the city, they'll have to come up with another way.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, Lieutenant. Find Ryan and get your pay. It was well earned. Colonel Ian Mancer came by looking for you. Hope this isn't going to be a habit, Lieutenant. His problems aren't yours anymore. You're part of my unit now. We clear?
Of course. I'll go see him on my own time, not yours, Captain.
Ok. Donc maintenant, on va interroger celui-là.
Lieutenant, sorry to bug you, but I gotta talk to you about something. Look, Lieutenant, maybe it's just because I'm not used to life in the city, but...
Cut to the point, soldier.
I think we're being tailed, sir. I think someone's been watching us, but I don't know why.
All right. Any ideas how to figure out who it is?
Hell yeah. I ain't no hunter for nothing, sir. I'd say we could leave from, say, the barracks or something and head towards the exchange. But, you know, act casual like it's just another day. We just treat it like we're out for a walk. Then, once we know we're being followed, we lead him to a trap down a dead-end road. And pow! You've got him. Or her. Whoever it is.
That's one way to go. I don't know. Gotta be an easier way. But let me think about it. We'll talk later.
Attendez, je vais déjà fouiller.
Everything's clean in here. Looks just like the captain's work. Nothing that implies she's working with the ASC.
Je vais déjà aller voir lui.
You the one that's been threatening Abby Goodsman?
Really? What? That bitch complained to the great magicians? Great. Perfect. You know what she's up to. She's anti-regime, and she's plotting against abundance. True fucking story. Your little friend's a traitor, Mancer. Too bad your powers don't include lie detection, huh? So, who cares? We put a little pressure on her, milk her a little bit before the ASC catches her. So what? She deserves it. All she needed to do was be loyal to the damn corporation that raised her. Watch your back. If someone heard about you being friendly with some of the oppositionists, like that girl, let's just say it won't end well.
Dis donc, toi, tu me ferais pas un peu de pression?
Alright, pretty simple. Just gotta stop the soldier so he can't make good on his threats.
Ok. Donc maintenant, toi.
Lieutenant?
I want to know my men better. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, great. Show and tell. Yay.
What do you think about Jeffrey Hunter?
He's a village idiot who thinks he can brown-nose his way to a promotion. Fucking reject. And no, he ain't my friend, if you haven't pieced that together.
What do you do when you're off duty?
Nothing special. See my folks, I guess. They ain't getting any younger, so... And I give most of my paycheck to them, because I'm the only one they got left. Sister died. And I ain't married, so when I ain't with them, I'm at the bar, drowning the shitstorm that my life's become. Not exactly a picture-perfect life, but it's mine. And hell, I get paid enough to help them out and buy my own drinks, so what's there to complain about?
I'm gonna leave you alone. Seems you'd rather be that way anyway.
Montre le code.
I can't open it without a code.
Oui. Comment voulez-vous qu'on ait le code, quoi? Ah, j'ai pas tout suivi. Bon, bref, lui, il a un code. Celui-là.
At your command.
Have a second to talk?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. Like, just you and me, or?
Yeah, just you and me. I like to know my men.
Wow, that's... yeah, that'd be a huge honor, Lieutenant.
How do you like Dave? You guys get along?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, he's not always the happiest guy in the world, but it's probably because he didn't have an easy life. He's always talking about how his life was nothing before 126 and joining the army, and that his family's all he's got. He's kind of bitter, but he's probably got a right to be. I always cheer him up, though, hoping he'll loosen up over time. At your command.
You have a good childhood?
Oh yeah, you know it, Lieutenant. Really nice growing up, running around in the fields. Father gave me a crossbow, and I spent my time helping the farmers shoot critters hurting their crops. They were good times, Lieutenant, but everybody's got to grow up and move on. There was a lot of hunters in Green Hope, too. Plus, I always dreamed of being a soldier. Mostly, though, because there was a girl back home who loved men in uniform, so... Off I went to the big city to join up. And, you know, since I was a sharpshooter, they signed me up and sent me here. Still not used to it. All the buildings, all the folks, all the concrete. But I'm happy, though.
So what's your life like when you're not on duty?
Tell you the truth, Lieutenant, not much to tell. I try to visit the city, make some friends, you know, because I don't really know too many folks yet. And my whole family's back in Green Hope, which is kind of too far to travel for my leave. And, oh yeah, there's also, you know, I try to still do some hunting. Though there's not much more than small critters in the underworks. Not a great hobby for the city.
Oh,
I'm not a lockpicker, but if I want to get through here, I better learn quick.
Ah mais non, on saura pas du coup. Merde. Bon mais tant pis hein. On va prendre ça. Voilà, et on mettra un petit point hein, quelque part. Je pense qu'on prendra le dernier. On verra bien. On va le mettre à la place de Y, je pense. Parce que je m'en sers jamais, donc voilà. Après on verra pour le reste. Alors par contre...
This must be a pic of his parents. And his damn notes. Bastard's got my whole schedule in here. And the names of every single person we saw together.
Ah bah voilà. Tu m'auras pas enfoiré.
I'm not a lockpicker.
Tu sais, je crochetage plus ça, moi je veux bien, mais ça suffit pas. Si on n'a pas la compétence, c'est mort. Ah si. Oh.
Feels like a Green Hope souvenir stand. Kid must be missing home. Unless being messy's a crime, though. Doesn't look like he's doing anything wrong. Must have been Dave keeping tabs on me the whole time. Never would have believed it. Guess if you could spot them, though, they wouldn't be so damn powerful.
Ah bah moi je vous le dis les loups, hein. Heureusement que j'ai pas jeté ce truc là parce qu'on aurait été dans la merde, mais quelque chose de fou quoi. Donc alors, mais qu'est-ce que j'ai changé? J'ai changé un truc tout à l'heure mais je sais pas quoi. Est-ce que j'ai pas mieux? Non j'ai pas mieux. Au niveau du bâton, moi je trouve que ça crame mais bon. Allez, on va l'inviter.
Lieutenant?
I know you're a drinking man, so what do you say we go grab one together?
Looks like it's my lucky day. Sure, why the hell not? Lead the way. So why don't you cut the bull and tell me why we're really here?
Sure.
You've been spying on me, Dave, and reporting everything back to Victor. I don't like rats. That's not all right with me.
And what? You think I ever had a choice in the matter? Think I had the option to say no?
I don't care. All I know is they got all the intel they wanted on me from one of my own soldiers, and I don't know why. What's your angle, Dave? You bitter you got a Mancer as your lieutenant? I thought we were past all that. What'd they promise you? Promotion? Better pay?
Nothing but a promise they wouldn't hurt my parents. Is that a good enough reason? I don't like the ASC. Don't like what they're doing to Abundance. Don't like what they're doing to me. I don't like the deal they offered, and I don't like I didn't have a choice but to accept it. I ain't got no one but my folks since my sister died. Not that I expect you to shed a tear for me, but if I gotta choose between them and you, sorry, brother. You're on the losing end of that. If it helps, though, I don't think you're the full prick you were before we had this little chat. In fact, I might even have liked you in another time and place. But you're in deep shit now. And it's shit I don't want to get pulled into with you.
I don't want your blood on my hands, David, but I can't let you keep doing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna tell you to get the hell out of Ophir and don't look back.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Bye, Lieutenant.
C'est pas mal, hein, c'est pas mal. Alors, que va-t-on faire? Du coup, on descend, ouais. Ouais, on descend. Par contre, ce qu'il faut... Ah, oh, faut remonter. Oh. Oh, mais non. Oh, c'est chiant, ça. Alors, je vais quand même aller régler cette histoire là d'abord.
Know what I feel like doing? Paying a visit to that pretty Abby girl. Yeah. Chick didn't learn her lesson after we tore down her shop. Maybe we could teach her a lesson in some other ways.
Sick. You're sick. But it's a sick I wouldn't mind catching, yeah? Why not? Damn pretty girl. I'll grab Chris and we'll make it a party.
Nice. Sounds good. Hey, shut up. I hear something.
Alright, pretty simple. Just gotta stop the soldier so he can't make good on his threats.
Ah non, le plan, il n'y a pas besoin. On s'en bat les couilles. Puisqu'on a réglé le problème. Je me demandais c'était quoi.
Hey, stop it! Soldiers, cut it out!
Who the hell do you think you are? Trying to give me orders, Mancer? I don't report to you, and you don't have a damn clue what's going on here. We'll take what we're owed from the broad and leave it for dead if we want. We clear? Or did we misunderstand and you just want to join us in the beatdown?
Ouh putain. Elle a fait une attaque de ouf. Ah, du coup on y retourne hein. Ah fuck. J'ai pris une de ces attaques que j'ai pas compris. Mais je pensais pas que j'allais mourir hein. Sinon
Hey, stop!
on s'en fout. Allez. Bon, il m'énerve. On va le loquer. À déloquer par contre.
How do I thank you for everything you've done for me? I don't... If there is anything I can ever do for you, please tell me. Thank you.
Bon, on va aller voir notre chère demoiselle.
Hey, Nisha.
Well, well, day's looking up already.
I took care of your friend's problem. The soldiers won't be bothering Abby anymore. It's a promise.
Thank you. That's really nice of you to help two ladies needing a hand. You're a real sweetheart. Really hope I can repay you in the future. I'll never forget what you did.
Ah bah voilà. Bon bah c'est tout, je
Can I
pense.
ask how you ended up becoming an artist?
On lui a pas
That's
demandé
a
ça?
long story.
Ouais, on lui a déjà demandé.
Then, so,
Voilà.
I gotta go.
all right. Well, maybe I'll see you again.
Je croyais que j'allais gagner quelque chose, mais même pas. Hein. C'est qui s'en fout. Alors, on va où? Là peut-être? Ah, ça a l'air d'être là, non? Ah, ça. Lui dire que c'est bon, on a réglé le problème, tout ça, tac tac, t'as vu?
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I found the mole. David Ward was running lines for the ASC.
In these times, spies are everywhere. They used to be like rats, but now bear more resemblance to cockroaches. Should you see one, you can be certain 100 more reside in the walls, each placed there while their arms were twisted by the ASC. So, what happened with this Ward?
I couldn't find it in myself to kill him, so I released him and let him run, like a rat. I would assume he's still running and we'll never see him in Ophir again.
The full blame cannot be cast on him. There are few who the ASC cannot bend to their will. We'll cross our fingers. Hopefully this soldier is gone for good and does not find himself arrested before he should escape.
Bon, on va aller voir le capitaine, j'ai perdu un homme et tout. Alors on va mettre un point dans la force, voilà.
Hi.
Lieutenant, how can I help you?
Captain Eliza told me to come find you for my pay.
Indeed, I've been expecting you. Here you go.
Ah, j'ai quoi? Un bouclier à point. Oh, c'est cool. C'est cool.
Lieutenant, I was told Dave Ward has gone AWOL. Any idea where he is?
Sorry, Cap, I haven't got the slightest clue.
I see. This is bad. I have no choice but to declare him a deserter. I'm afraid there'll be gossip that you can't earn the respect of your men, and the Army's reputation will take another hit. I warned you to keep your head down, Lieutenant. Don't know what you did, but Colonel Victor was having you tailed during your missions, and now he's got a shitload to say about it, and none of it's good. I tried defending you, but the things he's saying... According to the Colonel, the level of violence you're bringing is making it difficult for the mutants to accomplish their repair work. I know it sounds absurd to reason with them instead, but we need them, and your tactics are slowing our progress.
J'ai pas été brutal. Voici envers un, mais je pense pas que ça va me coûter quelque chose.
Captain, the only force I've ever used is reasonable. Sure, I shook a few down to make a point, but they were still on their feet when I was done with them.
That's not what I've heard, Lieutenant. The more one lies, the deeper the pit they dig themselves. You following me? I suggest you take a different tact with the Colonel. Victor also states you voluntarily jeopardized the lives of the officials you were charged with protecting. Want to explain that?
How do I explain something that's not... If I put those officials' lives in more danger, I'd have been risking my men's lives and mine as well. Why would I do that?
And the claims that you've been hiding vital intel for the sole benefit of your fellow Technomancers. Like an important research site on the shadow path of Aurora that didn't even register a line item in your reports?
Captain, the only thing I've ever done is accomplish the missions you gave me. Nothing more, nothing less. Never concealed anything, or had any other interest but abundance is at the forefront. This is unfair.
I know what you've accomplished. Also know what he's saying. And even if he's not a fan of Technomancers, that alone wouldn't motivate him to make all this up to frame you. And the list of accusations and the details is long. Like your report on the deserters. Less truth than lies. Almost more lies than ink. Never would have expected it from you, Lieutenant. You gonna blame the Colonel for the fact that Bulgakov never made it to the camp like your report claimed too?
Captain, if I was in your shoes, I'd feel the same. But take a step back. All those missions you sent me on, all the success I brought back to you. Whatever the Colonel's after, it's not about my actions. There's gotta be something else.
I don't know, Lieutenant. I'm caught in the middle. And something in me feels there's more to it, too. Whether what he's saying is true or not, don't know what you did to piss him off. To make yourself his target, Technomancer or not. It's beyond me. Unfortunately, he's already called you in and I can't stop it. All I can tell you is watch your mouth. Behave like the soldier you've been since you joined my company and you'll come out just fine. I'll plead in your favor if it comes down to that. Let's just hope it doesn't. Get going. Colonel's waiting. Good luck.
Bon, nous on va se laisser les loulous, j'avais pas vu l'heure. Donc je vous dis à plus tard pour la suite. Bye bye.